Okay, let's change the way you think about labels. Here in our modern Western society, we love labels. We're a little bit obsessed with labels. On the exterior world, it'll come in little cute cups that say coffee, and then a little container that says tea, and one that says sugar, and then we put a sign over the door that says laundry, and we put one in our kitchen that says kitchen. We really like labels. We organize all of our stuff. We get label makers and vinyl so that we can stick it on everything. They're adorable. Sometimes they're really useful. But what's not super useful is all the labels that we like to put on people. And we like to label people a lot. You're labeled by your job. You're labeled if you're a parent. You're labeled if you're a homeowner. You're labeled if you're a healthy person. You're labeled if you're unhealthy. You're labeled if you have ADHD, if you're anxiety ridden, if you have depression, if you're a spiritual person, if you're a religious person, if you're Christian, Muslim, Jew, LGBTQ, man, woman, child, fetus, embryo. We like labels. We like to measure things. We like to measure how much of something, how little of something. You are something and you're not something. We really, really like labels. And as I mentioned in a different video, our brain really likes to have certainty. Certainty is not always accuracy, but we'd prefer the certainty anyway because our brain can solidify it and we can label it. I'd like to challenge our love for labels, especially on people. People don't always have to be labeled. You can have a ton of labels stuck in your brain that either you put on yourself or other people put on you that are not accurate. They're just words. It's a word that some other flawed human being made up. Could be a scientist. They might know a little bit of what they're doing. Or they might be a total dumb butt that just wants to label something. And you don't have to let it stick to you. You don't have to take the label at face value and say, well, I'm this, so that means that, and I have nothing to do with it. Some ways we're letting it hold us down, and in some ways we're using it as a crutch to say, I'm just not a healthy person. I just don't have energy to do that kind of thing. I just don't have a degree. I can't make that kind of money that they can make. You're letting it hold you down, and you're letting it become your excuse. But labels are just words. They don't have to have that same meaning behind them. You can change the meaning of that label that you've got stuck in your head if you can't get rid of the label completely. Other words that mean things that we don't actually think they mean, responsibility. We feel like responsibility means you're doing the right thing. What does responsibility actually mean? Your ability to respond. Whether it's the right way or not, isn't what's in question. It's, do you have the ability, are you capable of a response? Therefore, you're responsible. Motivation. There is a motive behind your action. Motivation doesn't have to mean that you never procrastinate and that you're on fire and you need to get things done. That's not motivation. It's what is your motive behind your action. That's your motivation. It's just a word. It's just a label. It's not something that we have to live by. You get to choose your own labels. How about alien? Okay? We're comfortable with calling other human beings that are not from our country aliens, illegal, not illegal. We're comfortable with that label. But what is an alien? An alien is someone who's not from that area. What's an angel? Why can't an angel be called an alien? Why is that a bad thing to say? How about your fetus, your embryo, your baby, your newborn? When is it okay to do certain things? I'm not here to convince you of anything. I'm not here to even tell you what I believe in. I'm here to challenge your thoughts about when you are going to label it. A word that's not super used in measuring something, person. When does that sperm and egg become a fertilized person? And what can you do to a person that you feel comfortable with? Not convincing you, not condemning you. I'm just saying I'm so sick of all of the labels on trying to measure and prove your point with a word that doesn't mean anything. A word that can mean something totally different. You want to take the Bible, for example. The King James Bible was the very first English translation. King James was not like this super saint who just needed to get the Bible out. King James found a way to make some extra money by converting the Bible to English. Not every single word that was converted accurately, and there's not even a word to accurately match Greek versus English. In the Bible, whenever Jesus talks to the woman at the well and he calls her woman, I used to really think that he was like, "Woman, fetch me my water." But in reality, I've heard Lisa Harper talk about this, and she's a fantastic Bible scholar. He actually used the same Greek word to call the woman in the well as he had used with his mother at the wedding. And I can pretty well promise you, Jesus wasn't saying woman to his mother. It's a term of endearment for a female. But you can't translate that exactly from Greek to English. So they say woman. Everything has context behind it. Every word can have a slight tweak to its meaning. But when you get those things stuck in your head and you start to label yourself and you start to put yourself within this little box, this is who I am. This is what I think it means. I want certainty. But is it accurate? Is that really what it is? Is that really who you are? Is that really what you want for yourself? You get to change it. You get to change it tomorrow. You get to change it in 1 hour. You don't have to be that person. You don't have to carry that label. You don't have to carry that burden. Whether you put it on yourself or you let somebody else put it on you. You get to let go of it, or you get to completely change the meaning. I personally don't like the label life coach. It just sounds a little woo-woo to me. That's what I actually am, have a degree in, but I don't like the label. So I decided that my label is now going to be, I'm in life focusing. Nobody really freaking cares. Nobody gives a dang. But it feels better in my brain, so it's just a word. I get to pick the words. Everybody gets to pick words. You can pick your own words. You can change your own words and you can change your labels, and don't let anybody hold you down. I love you so, so, so much. Change the way you think. It's powerful. Hey, you made it to the end. Be sure and click on the next video to keep the party going. And don't forget to subscribe.